Trust me, the last thing you want to do is pick the wrong hearing aid. Hey guys, Cliff Olson, Doctor of Audiology and founder of Applied Hearing Solutions in Phoenix, Arizona, and in this video, I'm talking about finding the perfect hearing aid. Just like humans, hearing aids come in all shapes and sizes. And just like you want to make sure you find your soulmate to spend the rest of your life with, you want to find the perfect hearing aids to spend the next 3 to 5 years with. To do that, you have to make sure that you get a hearing aid that has everything that you would want and need. And one that lets you hang out with the boys on the weekend, watching your favorite football team, eating pizza without being asked to take out the trash or put your laundry away right when your team is about to score. Anyway, that's why I'm going to cover the 4 things that you need to look for when trying to find the perfect hearing aids for you. But before I do me a huge favor and click the like button. It really helps out the channel. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on, go ahead and do that as well. It is greatly appreciated. And a huge shout out to Phonak for sponsoring today's video, but more on them in a little bit. The first thing you need to consider when trying to find the perfect hearing aid for you is the fitting range of that hearing aid. This will ultimately depend on the severity and configuration of your hearing loss. The more hearing loss you have, the stronger the receiver or speaker needs to be inside of the hearing aid to generate enough amplification for you. If you have more of a mild to moderate level hearing loss, you may be able to get away with a medium strength receiver. If you start creeping into the moderately severe to severe levels of hearing loss, you'll probably need more of a power receiver. And once you start getting into the severe to profound levels of hearing loss, you'll probably need either a super power receiver or even an ultra power receiver if you want to be able to hit your prescriptive targets. Selecting the correct receiver size is not just critical right now when trying to treat your hearing loss, but it's also critical several years down the road as your hearing loss may progress and get worse. The second thing you need to consider is the customizability of your hearing aid. By customizability, what I mean is how precise can that hearing aid be programmed to match your hearing loss prescriptive targets, and what digital features do those hearing aids have to optimize the performance in a variety of different situations. When you have a hearing loss, your hearing care professional will use your audiogram to calculate the amount of amplification that you need at every frequency of your hearing loss, and that is what we call your hearing loss prescription. Most people's hearing loss require different amounts of amplification at different frequency ranges in order to meet their hearing loss prescription. Hearing aids that can be customized precisely to your hearing loss prescription will typically give you better performance in a variety of different situations. Think of it like how you want the person that you marry to be strong in all of the different areas that you're weak. This will ultimately make you a much more well-rounded couple. Or if you want to go full Jerry Maguire on this, your perfect hearing aid should be able to look at your audiogram and say, "You complete me." On the other hand, if your hearing aid lacks the ability to precisely match your hearing loss prescription, then you're never going to hear as clearly or as well as you want to. On top of that, the digital features of your hearing aids will also never be able to live up to their full potential. Speaking of features, some hearing aids have a ton of features, and other hearing aids have almost no features at all. It all just depends on what features are necessary for you to maximize your overall performance. For instance, if you have a tough time hearing and understanding speech in background noise like a restaurant, you want to make sure that you have hearing aids that have really good noise reduction and directional microphones to hone in on the voices of the people you want to hear. On the other hand, if you have difficulty understanding soft talkers, you need to make sure that your hearing aids have features that can increase the amount of amplification given to soft level speech versus average level speech or loud level speech. If you have trouble understanding dialogue on the TV, tablet, or on the phone, you need to make sure you have Bluetooth capabilities to stream audio directly from your devices into your ears so you can understand that dialogue clearly. And you know what? Most people have no clue what features their hearing aids even have, which is like marrying someone before you get to know them. The third thing you need to consider when finding the perfect hearing aid for you is how easy is it to use the hearing aid. Not only are some hearing aid styles more difficult to get into your ears, but once you get them in their ears, you may be confused on how to adjust those hearing aids in different situations. This is one of the biggest reasons why you should consider a custom in-the-ear hearing aid like the Virto R Infinio from Phonak, today's video sponsor. Now, it's no secret that receiver and canal hearing aids completely dominate the hearing aid market. However, in many cases, receiver and canal hearing aids are over-recommended by hearing care professionals because it's easier for the professional, not necessarily because it's easier for you, the hearing aid wearer. It's kind of like an arranged marriage where your input really doesn't matter. At one point, custom hearing aids dominated the hearing aid market, and you know what? They're starting to make a comeback. The Virto R Infinio is a custom rechargeable in-the-ear hearing aid that is super easy to use, not just because you don't have to worry about batteries anymore, but because when you're placing the hearing aid in your ear, you don't have to work a device behind your ear with the receiver wire down into your ear canal. All you do is just pop it off of the charger stands that are magnetic and then Place them inside of your ears. It's really super simple because they are perfectly custom fit to your ear canal. And because they use the rechargeable batteries, you're set for all day wear, and you just take them out of your ears at night and put them back in the charger as you go to sleep. Phonak also uses what they call their right fit customization that includes acoustically optimized receiver selection to make sure the receiver is perfect for your hearing loss both now and into the future, as well as biometric calibration that uses 1600 data points from your ear mold impressions to improve the directional performance and individualized fit. And it even includes acoustically optimized venting to maximize the natural feel and sound while keeping the hearing aid as small as possible. The new Era chip now has AutoSense OS 7.0, which allows these hearing aids to automatically identify the acoustic environment that you're in and switch your hearing aids into the best program settings for that environment without you lifting a finger. And all of those programs inside of AutoSense OS 7.0 are fully customizable by your hearing care professional for optimal performance. This new chip also allows these hearing aids to connect with up to 8 different wireless devices with 2 connections active at the exact same time. And it's all been upgraded to Bluetooth version 5.3. Basically what I'm saying is, if you could marry a hearing aid, the Phonak Virto R Infinio may be your soulmate. That being said, the fourth thing that you need to consider before you decide to marry any hearing aid is the hearing care professional that you get your hearing aids from. Finding the perfect hearing aid is extremely important, but if you want those hearing aids to help you hear your absolute best, you need to make sure that you find a hearing care professional that sets them up correctly. Nobody wants to get a brand new pair of hearing aids only to experience limited benefit from those new devices because your hearing care professional hasn't fit and programmed them properly. And if you're going to properly set up a pair of hearing aids, it takes a lot of time to optimize all of the digital features and make sure that you know how to use them effectively. For instance, if you have a hearing aid that has a ton of features like the Phonak Virto R Infinio devices, your hearing care professional has a lot of digital features to optimize inside of the programming software. Sure, the default settings can be pretty good, but all of them can usually be optimized even further by your hearing care professional if they're willing to spend the time to do so. They should also be teaching you how to clean and maintain your hearing aids to prevent future malfunctions, and understand how to manipulate your hearing aids using your smartphone app. When your fitting process is complete, the amplification levels of your hearing aids should be set as close to your hearing loss prescription as possible. All of your digital features inside of those hearing aids have been optimized to the highest level of their capability, and you should have a really good idea on how to clean, maintain, and use your own hearing aids. Because at the end of the day, finding the perfect person to marry isn't about finding perfection. It's about finding the person that helps you live your best life. The same is true with hearing aids. And when you make the right choice with the right fit, you'll gladly say "I do" every morning when you put them in.